Okay, so, you know, it's Angie. So what just happened to me is, as I was recording, it stopped on me. I don't know if it's something I'm doing or anyway. So I'm just going to do the whole spill again, except you missed the part where I put the paint on. These are the colors I'm using. Folk Art Silver, Folk Art Metallic Blue, Topaz, and Deco Art Black. And we're doing Chroma Crackle. So this is white clay underneath the paint that I put on there. So all I did was put, dab some paint on the side here, used my finger, and I put it on there, swirl it around. Actually, I'm gonna put a little bit more right here. If I wanted extra, I just dabbed it on like that. I'm not worried about the colors mixing. It looks pretty neat when it does. And after my paint's dry, I'm going to come back and we're going to put some Chroma Crackle on top. And yes, I had also mentioned that I never heard of Chroma Crackle until I was watching one of Samantha Burroughs' tutorials, and it was just like wow to me. I had to have it. So I love how it works. I love the look of it when it's done. It's really pretty. And yes, you got to put about a millimeter or two thick of this on your clay, well, technically on the paint. And when it dries, it crackles. But the Chroma Crackle itself turns white. But anything underneath of that is going to show through. Hence the paint, the black, silver, and the topaz, blue topaz. So anyway, it's like I said before, instead of you watching paint dry, no pun intended, I'm going to put you on pause. And I'm going to use my hair dryer, as I said to, you can tell I've used it with a lot of my acrylic abstract paintings and stuff that I've done. So I'm just going to put it on low because I don't want it too high. I could use my heat gun, but I find my heat gun doesn't go low enough for me to dry this, because what it does is it'll bake my clay and then it's no good. And then I'll have to throw it out. And I don't really want to do that because it costs too much money. So I'm going to use my hair dryer. And I did get this at Happy Things, if anybody is interested in that. It's the only place I could find it when I started searching for it. Anyway, so I'm going to get this dry. And when it's finished, I'll come back. All right, it's dry. It took about 10 minutes for it to dry, as you can see. Now we're going to apply the Chroma Crackle. So, a gob of that on there. Remember, 1 to 2 millimeters thick. Now you can use something like this to spread it if you want. I tend to use my finger. I don't mind getting into my work, that's for sure. I find that I have a better, I can judge it better. I don't know. Something like that anyway. So when this dries, it starts to crackle. And of course, where it crackles, it's going to show the underneath. So I have one here it's not quite dry. It's one I was playing around with, just with some scrap clay. I'll show you here in a second. There, that should be good. And like I said, it's not completely dry. I think I'm on day 2 of its drying time. But here it is. Now you can see how it turns white. Well, where it's black is where I put the black paint on it, and it's not dry there yet. But you can also see, because that's the color clay under it, you can see all the beautiful cracks in it. And this here, I just painted it, put some Chroma Crackle on it, and I just set it to the side and let it do its own thing. So I haven't really put any heat on it. Well, I haven't put any heat on it at all, to be honest with you. So, I mean, to touch it, it feels dry. But you can see it's not all dry because it hasn't all gone white. Now, I'm not saying every little bit of it's going to go all white. Maybe it won't. But the majority of it will. So I'm gonna play with this one here, and I'm gonna put some heat on it with my hair dryer. Well, heat on low. And I'm just going to do it like this. And I think I'll do it on here too, since it's there. I'll just go back and forth on both of them. So when this one is dry, I'll come back and we'll see what it looks like. But another thing I wanted to let you know too with this, and that was my plan with this one, is when it is dry, you can also go back with color, like say if I want to put some silver on it, and just do a dry brush on top of it. Or you could even take some kind of a sponge and just tap it. Like you can keep adding stuff to this, so you can do multiple things with it. It's pretty impressive. Anyway, when it's done, I'll be back. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes, and I'm sure you can see a big difference in both of them. So I've been putting a little bit of heat on this one too. And you will notice with the Chroma Crackle, it may lift off your clay a little bit. Now, when I'm doing it, like what I've been doing with the heat or the hair dryer, I just keep tapping it down. And you can also burnish it afterwards, and it sticks right back down. It's just lifting off the clay some. It's almost like the clay lifting off the clay. But anyway, it's coming. This one here's come along pretty good, and it's only been about 20 minutes. It's well worth using a hair dryer because, like I said, this was setting for going on day 2. So if you're not in a hurry, it's fine. You just want to throw it together and stick it to the side and let it do its thing. You go right ahead. But if you want to get things done and you're impatient, like I usually am, when I start something, I'd like to be able to sit down and finish it. But anyway, that's entirely up to you. So I'm going to continue this until it's completely dry and turning white like this one is. And when it's done, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Now you can see this is much more white, although these just weren't turning, so I don't know, maybe I didn't have enough Chroma Crackle on it or something, I don't know. And this is what I'm getting out of this one. Oops. And you notice where I've dried this myself I have larger cracks than I do in this one. So this one definitely gives you larger cracks. That's fine. This might even change a little bit more when I bake it in the oven. But for now, what we're going to do is I'm going to pick a cutter and cut that out. And I just want to see what cutter I want to use. I think I'm going to go with this circle one, donut. Again, from Jessamine Design. So I think this one here, I'll get the most out of it. I'll set this one aside. I'm going to pick this up so I can see better. All right, I want to go with this end so we can get a little bit of the black. Excuse me. And I want my acrylic block here. I'll push down on it. There. I'll pop it out. And yes, where it was a little bit dry, the crackle. We'll see. I'm going to get my little blade. I'm going to get this out just to cut through here. I don't want to make a mess. So I didn't get it through on the with the cutter. I think the rest did. Like that. This one I didn't plan on doing any dry brushing or anything. I do plan on doing it with this one at some point. Maybe today, maybe not. And I'm going to have to get the cutter for the center of that too. See if I can get that pushed in more. That clay some soft. I think I'll put a pearl white on the back of this. Probably should have waited for the clay to cool off a little bit. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. That's why I sound weird, wiggling my nose around. There. And just pick these little things off. I'm gonna cut that one. A little bit. Where it's stuck, I'll just nip it a little bit. Get it to come on out. Can be a little friggy. Not too bad. Just trimming it up. There. I'm going to get some pearl. I'm going to roll that out. I'll put the backing on this, and then I'll bake it. I'll be right back after I get that pearl rolled. All right, here it is rolled out. I'm going to use my Old Faithful texture stamp again. Just going to push on that. I don't know if you can see me or not. I guess you can. Just to get some texture on. Oh my goodness. Let's get rid of that black stuff, whatever that is. Can't be having that on there. Probably something from whatever I textured the last time and I didn't get it off. There. And there. Just a quick wipe. I can't see anything on it, but something is. Let's try it again. I really like that Chroma Crackle. I think it does some cool stuff. Piece there. There. All right. Turn that way. Carefully pick this up. Carefully set it down and carefully make sure we have our shape. They do move. Every time you touch them, they move. Just want to try and keep it in its form there. That looks pretty good. Squish her down. Try and get even pressure all around, which is why I love this. There. Now let's see how we did. Not so shabby there. That out like so. Clean up my pearl since I just hauled out my last bar and didn't realize it. Yep, panic is kicking in and I have to put an order in soon. So after whatever it is, I'm not seeing it. I'll use this just to try and clean up the sides a little bit. I'll stick that in there, yes. Clean it up some. And after I do this, we'll put it in the oven and we'll bake it at Primo's recommended temperatures for 1 hour, and that happens to be 275. But you always want to test your oven and make sure you've got the right temperature, because if you have it a little too high, it will burn. If you have it a little too low, it won't bake properly. It'll break on you because it'll be fragile. So you gotta be careful with all that stuff. There. There, I'm gonna put that in the oven. Make sure I have nothing sticking up here. That piece wants to keep coming up there. I have to take it right off. There we go, gone. So I'm gonna put that on probably a piece of paper, and I'll bake that for an hour and I'll be back. Okay, here it is out of the oven. Still a little warm, but it's cooling off. So it came out quite nice, I think. So I'm just going to put some resin on top of that. This one here, get my little stick. And this one's the UV resin, so I'll just put some on top, spread it around, stick it under the oven. UV light, I mean, oven. Just came out of the oven. Spread it around. Bring it to the edges. This has a bit of a dome on it, but it's okay. I'll try and hold it in place. It came out quite pretty. Love the colors. But again, you can do whatever color you want and just do it black or whatever. Not white, because you know the Chroma Crackle does dry white, so you wouldn't be able to really see it. Definitely going to need some more resin. Just want to make sure you get it out to the edges. I'm going to add some more. I can hear my dog upstairs doing something, probably something she shouldn't be. That's all right. She's still just a pup. This is definitely a different technique of getting some crackles going. I think I got that all around there, I believe. Looks pretty good. I've risen off my fingers. I'll put a little bit more. That looks good. Always check for air bubbles. Not seeing any, that doesn't mean there isn't any. No resin there. That was a big bubble. There, that looks good. So I'm going to put that under the UV light, and when that's done, I'll be back. Okay, so out of the UV light, I think it came out very pretty. So now, all right, I put this end cap on here with some E6000. So it's obviously not dry. So I gotta be very careful. So, and I did double this. I wanna make sure I put this in the right way so that it hangs properly. Now, is this gonna be the right way? Let's see. And I doubled this because it's such a big hole. Excuse me, I thought it would be better if I did that. I just want to make sure that it's all lying here properly. Before I give it a pull. This is supposed to go this way. Feels like it anyway. So I'm going to put this over here. Yeah, that's better. I'll make sure that that's pulling right. See what I mean? I'm pulling it out. Don't mind me, my weird voices. Whew. Sometimes I wonder where they come from. But I can make sure that stays in there. That's the problem with E6000. You gotta wait for it to dry. Excuse me. But when it does dry, it dries really well. All right, there's that end. If I have to adjust it after, I will. But for now, I'm just going to leave it. I already put the this end on here. So I'm going to do this end. All I need is a jump ring. So open up my jump ring, put it in here, and put it on this, so it doesn't fall out. A little twist, and there it is on there. Okay, now for this side, really need to make sure that these are even. So pull that a little bit. And I'll do that with this. I'll put some E6000 in here. Way more than what I needed, but that's okay. And I'll stick it in here like this. And when that dries, it's not going to go anywhere. This one's already starting to dry. Just have to stop playing with it. And there you go. That's it for this. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and learned some stuff about Chroma Crackle. Like I say, it's very interesting. I love working with it. It's really fun, and there's so many things you can do with it. Make sure it doesn't pop out on me. Anyway, that's the end of that tutorial, and hope you enjoyed. Please like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to click that bell. That way you'll be notified as soon as I upload another video. Until then, take care of yourself and see ya. Bye.